Soldiers watched as invaders killed my people and said no order to stop the attack. Nigerian Monarch. According to the Monarch, the soldiers deployed in the area said they could not defend the helpless victims because there was no instruction that they should do so. The paramount ruler of Irigwe ethnic nationality in Plateau State, the Brangwe Irigwe, retired Reverend Ronku Âttâck, said soldiers watched as his people were killed by suspected herdsmen during a recent invasion of Basa local government area. According to the Monarch, the soldiers deployed in the area said they could not defend because there was no instruction that they should do so. Âttâck stated this when the president of the Paramalam Peace Foundation, Reverend Gideon Paramalam, led other officials into the non-governmental organization on a sympathy visit to his place in Miyango. Cool. I already sort of got into this, but now we're going to look at the proper comments where a lot of people were just like, listen, what's the logic behind that? What is the logic behind that? Because if you really want to serve, it's so strange. So you just watched people die because your boss said, I'm so sorry, you're in a position where I understand in some situations, okay, fine, you should not really do certain things without your leader or your instructor, but it's not like as if it's their first time in conflict or they are new soldiers or something. Like, it just does not make sense at all. Like, why? I mean, it's enough to get people angry, and I think this should create a whole uprising because, again, I think everything should create an uprising in Nigeria. So we just have to be careful of what we choose and what we shouldn't. But what I mean is that this case is so intense and such a violation. First of all, then, it means we have to go back and review what the system is when it comes to the structure of instructions and what... I mean, if anything, them as soldiers literally requires that they... what's the word? They can adapt to any situation and be on their toes and just go with the flow and just fix whatever it is. That is what if there's anyone that we expect in an emergency, I mean, what? Because you had no order, you watch people die? Because you had no... I mean, I guess they're strict about it, but it does not make sense. And if anything, we're fine. We look at the government and be like, okay, you need to change this because you can't... This is inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable. This is not new. We have heard it countless times that any soldier that shoots a Fulani herdsman without order from above is on his own. That's what has been happening in Nigeria since Buhari took office in 2015. I mean, I don't think I can confirm that is true, but it's not surprising if it is true. Because again, they are literally seen as I mean, Buhari has proven to be pro-Fulani and anti-everything else. Someone says, which instruction were they waiting for in an emergency case like this when they were already deployed to the area? Exactly, you were deployed, you were literally put there for a reason. You were put there for a reason like this. And you say no because you haven't. Because there's no excuse. Someone here says, when one say Buhari is a terrorist, his global supporters will defend him. A man in his government defended Pantami. That's when I lost hope. I think for a lot of Nigerians, there's got to be an incident or an occurrence that happens where you then get on the bandwagon of, you know what, this country is finished and that is it. And with the defense of Esa Pantami by the Nigerian government was it for me. I was like, yep, we are done for. I mean, that was, for me, a turning point in me saying, of just understanding, you know what, we have lost hope. Everything is lost. Everything is gone. That's it. Another person here says, because you people will realize where you are standing, your land will be gone. Because you people will realize where you are standing, your land will be gone. I don't know what that means. Can someone explain? It is possible during the NSAS protest where the police watched the Fulani boys kill us. I imagine how I managed to be alive. Only God, was a narrow escape for me. The police were even shouting at me. Wow. The box stops at the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Force table. He is responsible for the carnage that we see everywhere. he should give order for the army to chase these invaders. Well, imagine, we are the ones telling them what to do. That is a big red flag. Why is it that we the unprofessional ones, they claim that we are the professional ones, and the ones that are just like, when we're not trained in this way. So again, now you have to ask, what is the training like? Because I still, it's just, you can't understand why. Someone says, I'll always their word, only have orders to kill innocent victims. And this, I think, in my opinion, should be enough for the country, for the people of Plateau State to stage a whole protest, because this is a violation of their human rights. It's like, if the sign could be any clearer, it just says, we don't care about you. That is it. I mean, we know that, but then this one, it's not like a thing where we interpret that an action like this in this way translates like this. This is a direct statement that says the government of Plateau State does not like its citizens. And of course, the monarch speaking out, I just feel bad, because really and truly he is helpless, because all he can do is speak out, because he's just in a position where he cannot do anything. And it remains like that. It just remains like that. Someone here says, no Nigerian soldier can stop them. That soldier will surely lose his job and be thrown in prison. That is a risk. Now that is a risk. So it now shows that, okay, fine, the soldiers they are obviously a part of the equation, but then they're not the core foundational part of the equation. It's the government. It is the government, because the government will do the most to protect who it wants to protect, because it has proven to do so many times. Look at Issa Pantami, and then look at Nnamdi Kanu, the efforts that they put in achieving their aims with these two people for themselves. Look at it. It's very clear. Somebody says the sponsors of the invaders are their commanders, and the invaders are brothers to soldiers. Then their patrons are also in Aso Rock. So devise means to defend yourself. You are helpless and hopeless if you think Nigerian government and her armed forces will protect you from Fulani invaders. Please don't complain when we are trying to stop them, when no security personnel. I mean, that's the thing. That is the problem. They will complain, and you'd be in trouble, because, with the Shasha market crisis, the villagers got in trouble for defending themselves. Why? That's it. And look at IPOB, and I mean, that's just a clear case of a whole different clash. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.